Hey everybody, welcome, hello, welcome to my morning walk. So I try to do a fasted morning walk about 6 days out of the week. I get up, no caffeine, I get some water in me, and I get out and get my legs going. It's a good way to get started for the day for me. I really need to get connected with the outside world and hear some bird song, get some sun on my face, see the clouds, and there's something about being outside for me that just in general makes me more regulated. So welcome to the vlog. This would be my second episode. The first one would be the summer solstice hike that I took. Wanting to do more of these, and I'm trying to hone down exactly what I want to do with these, but I do want to create sort of a weekly-ish episodic walk and talk, maybe sit and talk, we'll see. But my focus is really connection to nature, connection to these subtle energies that I talk about and how they can impact your day through this kind of vlog medium. And we'll talk a little bit about my own personal gnosis and how I work with them. And yeah, I wasn't sure how to do it, and a voice today just said, do it, just start talking, just make something. So I'm making something. Hello. So you may see this fence a lot, but I have to move between two very noisy areas on my walk for this recording. So I'm going to spin things around. You ready? Here we go. And we're pivoting. Excellent. So one of the things that is important to me, and because of my past year and a half, is a connection to nature, in any environment. About a year and a half ago, I had lived in one spot for almost 30 years. It was a college town, and it had access to national forest all over the place. I could get into deep woods within 25 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, and I could go and get lost. And I could connect and I could sink into this wonderful deep nature that everybody talks about. And you see people going out to wonderful areas to do that. Well, back in February of this year, I moved up to a major city. I'm on the outskirts of a major city. This is a very urban area. And I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? There are some parks here. There are some city parks, and I'll take you to them. But there was no spot that hasn't been trammeled on. I mean, just being honest. There are some spots that I can find, but they're off trail. I'll talk about that in another video. But I realized through a lot of readings and some work and some connection to my spirit guides and my higher connection, that this was part of my next step. Not only was I to take this leap into this new chapter with my partner, you're awesome, by the way, if you're watching this, but to learn how to take that deep-rooted nature connection and bring it to this environment, and to connect with the spirits of the land here that have been so trampled on. And so I've been trying to do that. It's taken me weeks to really start figuring it out. And really, I would say months, mostly, because it's been a lot of trial and error and a lot of trying to figure out. A lot of the energy I get here is very under pressure. It's not used to being recognized. It's used to being ignored, and it doesn't necessarily trust it when a sensitive comes out and introduces themselves. Oh, some hammering. I'm not sure if you can hear that. We'll pivot again. So how do I mean connect? What do I mean by connecting? Connecting to the nature, connecting to the earth energy. And it's really just a matter of grounding. It's a matter of just stopping and hi, have a good day. That connecting, just recognizing that there is life all around us. There's birds, there's squirrels, there's flowers, there's trees. You can do this in a park, you can do this in your neighborhood. I have a spot I may show you later in this video where I've just, I have a red squirrel that runs along this fence here and that I have left some treats for. And so now when he sees me, he comes up and says hi, but then I turned around with the camera and he didn't want any part of that. So, but it's stuff like that. It's recognizing and opening your circle to the other energies that are around you every day, everywhere you go, even in the city. And I am going to try and do this. I'm going to start and try to do this in town. And we'll have a walk and talk there as well, and we'll see some sights and see some things. So that's what I'm going to do with this vlog, as well as just a chance to sit and talk with you about how my day, how my life interaction has interacted with the moon phase readings. And that's been fascinating and wonderful to me, how that has played out. Pivot, had to change. It's how I create tension, is constant edit, pivots back and forth. It's how I pique interest and create tension. I believe that's the term for filmmakers. So how many times a day, and some of you this might be quite a bit, but how many times a day do you say hello to the outside world? How often do you just tap a tree? Consciously recognize that this is a living entity right here. It's got its own root system. It has its own relationship to its neighbors. It has its own relationship to its mammal friends, both two-legged and four. And how often do you stop and really recognize that? I really do think it's a matter of, if you're in a heavy urban environment, of really carving out a space for yourself, really claiming your space, and just trying to do it in little bites. Big bites aren't going to work. The pressure and the energy of the city itself. I'm slowing down here because I'm getting into something. The energy itself of a city can be magical. It has its own spirit. It has its own energy. And you can tap into that because that spirit of the city is directly related to the ground underneath it and the nature underneath it. And it is at the whims of the heavier, larger nature spirit. But that energy of that city can become overwhelming in and of itself. And I think you see this in big cities quite a bit. So something to think about. We'll talk about that maybe a bit more in another video. I'm going to turn around here. Let's pivot this way. Pivoting, more tension, more drama. Show you a friend. This is a spot, and I'm going to end up here in this video here, but this is a lovely pine tree here that is in the corner property, right? And this one really started getting my attention. And so every day-ish, I come by and I leave a little offering here. I leave a little bit of bread, a little bit of bird seed, and I just put it at the base of this tree here. I say hello, I say good morning. I shake its hand. Hello, good morning. And that's just something I do to remind myself and to connect. And that's something you can do too. Find a spot, find something close to you that you can see every day, and then see what happens. all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this. More to come as ideas come and I get some thoughts. If you have ideas that you would like or questions about this process, put them down in the comments below. And I will see you on the next daily reading, to be sure. Peace and strength, everybody. Bye.